reactively just like,
oh, it looks good.
Thanks,
You're
you look
good.
good too.
It's good. It's all good.
It's all
Everything's
good.
perfect. Now don't move for an hour and a half.
hi.
Hi. God.
Yeah, God.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to this week's episode of Trash. I'm Millie Monroe, dressed as your favorite hooker. This one over here.
You are kind of dressed like me today, aren't you? You said straight hair.
No, I said, what's the scariest thing I own? The straight wig.
Who's the scariest person I could
Ooh!
date? Queen. And today I am Grace from Will and Grace. I said I need big red hair. You have something in your hair. It looks
what
a
is
little
it?
Buggy. It's not though.
Oh, talk about scary.
Oh, I did just fuck up your hair.
Talk about scary.
Scary bugs. Bugs are scary.
You know, they outnumber us by like the millions.
A trillion's gotta be, right?
I don't know, they're bugs.
I mean,
they
also
live underground.
Hard to get a live count because they have
what
like
are you gonna do?
short lifespans.
You can't just like stick a tube in some soil, take it up, dump it out, wash the dirt away, and be like, there are 10 insects here.
So if we multiply that by
quadrillion,
right? We should do that. We should do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Stick a hole. Stick a hole.
Publish that paper. See how it goes.
Yeah. Ask for a grant.
Honestly,
people have asked for stupider things.
Honestly, and gotten a lot of money.
I think some of those people, they regret getting some of that money.
And now they're like, now I got to make something up.
Now I got to make something up.
But that's science.
Have you you saw that movie? That Keira Knightley movie. It's a Keira Knightley movie where she was digging stuff.
I've heard of this. And and isn't like a gay man in that? Nope, keep going.
No, never mind.
I know what you're talking about because it was recent.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this kind of was under the radar for as big as she is.
Is any celebrity as big as they were? Because they're all doing commercials. They're all doing TV. Celebritydom is gone.
That's true.
They're fighting. I saw
They're
Will
fighting.
They are. They're swimming.
It's true. It's like you got in under that like super celebrity
TV
thing where you like just don't have to be working anymore.
Yes.
Like Julia Roberts.
Yes. I don't know. She's probably coming off of that now too.
She does Estee Lauder ads.
That's what I'm saying. She's like, every so often I have to go back to that green screen and run across Paris and say, "Et de toilette."
Right.
And then she's baking, what, $2 million?
Probably. $2 million, I hope more than that.
Well, okay.
For one ad.
I doubt it.
Really? These days?
She's probably thanking the Lord that she paid off her house in Malibu.
Wow.
Because Jesus. But they don't own anything. They all have to pay taxes. She's like, yeah, do that Estee Lauder cartoon. Well, at this point, they're all cartoons. Well, green screen is kind of like a cartoon to me.
I see what you're saying.
Digitally rendered.
You're like, if we are not setting up the shot here.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
You're making it up.
Yeah.
You're illustrating it. It's a different form of illustration.
It's a different format.
Speaking of which, did you guys like that music video last week?
What'd you think?
All, 92 of you that have watched it?
Thanks a lot. Get on it, you fans. I love that. We do not know what to do with power. We have 100, I'm sweating now. We have 150 subscribers, which by the way, thank you. That's wonderful.
God.
And we immediately start bullying you into watching our
150
videos.
friends.
I think they're our friends.
I mean...
You have a lot of followers on Instagram, though.
Paid.
That's true. But, yeah, we immediately are like, you aren't doing enough.
I think...
All 150 of you need to step it up. Look at this.
What is it? Oh. But I calling you Bob. Like I said, found some fun.
Where did you go?
You don't know that song. That Nicki Minaj song.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Put him in a dungeon under.
No.
Isn't eating a day in a hunger. The need.
Yes. Maybe just a Rex.
Yeah. Is that where you were going?
No.
Oh.
I was doing what's your name here? Bob. And they're doing the Bob. God, I'm chronically online.
I don't know that one though.
Okay, well, I hope it's Nicki Minaj.
Probably.
I don't know anybody's name.
Do you want to hear something scary about this wig?
Yeah. Was there a dead spider in it?
Do you know, every time I do pull out a wig I haven't been wearing in a while, because I keep them in boxes.
Yeah.
I'm like spider infested. And I do a thorough search.
I kind of just hope for the best.
Just throw it on.
I mean, if you're living in a wig and you're a spider, hopefully you're just a gay spider.
Right, and you're like, I'll step back to you.
Yeah, you go off.
Clearly
I'll take
you're
the limelight
working
for a
here.
little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I'll come back when you're
I
done.
mean, they're wolf spiders. You have a bear, a twink, a cub.
Don't get into
wolf.
that then. Anyway, there are no spiders in my hair, but this
And
is
spiders in my hair.
creepy.
Sorry.
This is real, the bottom part. And then the top part is fake. And you can actually see, maybe not in person, but on camera, you definitely can see the difference in the sheen of them.
Oh my God.
And you see how this is like a little flatter?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can taste it. Oh, that one's yours now. Take it with you.
It was so gross.
That was gross.
So gross.
Literally
I was like, Samara, come here.
hair out of my head with your mouth. Oh, don't make me move too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to hear something scary?
I do.
Like legitimately scary.
Okay.
I had a panic attack last night.
I'm sorry.
Okay, not a real panic attack. I had a moment in my...
Don't downplay it. If you really had one, you had
I
one.
turned to Scott and I said, listen, we need to make some changes.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, what? I pulled out my phone, opened it up. I opened it up. You see here? You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
You have... Oh! Yeah, you consolidated all of your apps.
No more
You have
Facebook.
one folder.
No more Instagram.
Wait a minute.
No more TikTok.
On your phone?
If I want to look at those, I gotta go on the computer.
Wow.
I gotta go on the computer to look at those.
What about your iPad?
I didn't put any of that stuff on the iPad.
Okay.
The only social thing I have on here is my Discord.
Wow.
Well, I have X too, but I never get on there.
That's for different reasons.
Well,
And that's a
at least
non-negotiable.
Elon Musk is really out here going, listen, we're crossing the paths. We're crossing the streams.
Crossing the stream.
Peeing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is what they're doing. That is what they're doing at X. They're just pissing on each other.
So yeah, scary. I
That is
cold turkey.
scary.
I said last night, no more. Off my phone. I said, it's too much.
What are you going to do later?
You will later tonight.
Yeah, with all of our pictures. So pull out the computer. You're going to be like, what's it like out there tonight? Like when I'm doing it, you're going to be like, what's going on?
No, but here's the thing. I was watching this TikTok, this man who was like, right now we are living in a world, spooky, this is spooky. Mm-hmm. Get into it, get into it. He's like, it's like we just discovered alcohol.
Okay.
We are 30 years into drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
And we're pounding it.
Yeah.
We are pounding alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
And we have no idea what's on the other side of it.
This is true.
We have no idea what's on the other side of it. And I thought about that and I said, you know what? I think he's absolutely right.
I mean, because we know it's an addiction.
Yes.
We already know it's causing some problems.
Yes. It's bad for your brain.
It's
bad
taking
for
up
your eyes.
so much of our time.
Bad for your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's very convincing.
it convinced me.
That's a good comparison.
It's convinced me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an alcoholic, please go and
keep
take a
going.
drink.
Yeah.
But I am not.
Yeah.
But I am addicted to this thing.
Listen, it's hot. She's hot right now. Hansel, she's so hot right now. Honestly, what was cunty about that story is your phone opened with your face immediately. And she doesn't recognize me in drag.
That's what I'm saying. See?
So they've already like, we know you're trying to quit, and we'll give it to you easy now. If you want,
Delete it.
delete it.
And I just really hate that us millennials, I'm sorry, it is the millennials, we have fed the internet for years.
Oh, I mean, it is our monster.
Yeah, our entire lives are there.
Yeah.
And we are the ones that made it so addictive
Well,
and bad.
actually, I want to take that away.
You don't think so?
I mean, they created the platform. They created the algorithms that continue to reward that kind of behavior, that like notify you to open it up again.
Okay.
It was because like I don't think everyone took it and immediately started putting their whole lives there.
I think we supplied all the information.
I mean, obviously we fed it.
Yeah.
But like, I still blame the platforms.
I think
because
they
you
have-
can
yes.
design them in a way.
Okay.
They could have designed them in a way
Yeah.
that made the balance better. And they decided to design them in a way to make them addictive and to make you keep coming back. So social media from the start was already like against us. I don't think it's like alcohol. You hand somebody alcohol, you're not going to blame the drink.
Yeah, you're not going to look at P. Diddy and say, I'm not going to have this drink.
Because that's what I'm doing then, isn't it?
What?
Blaming the drink, blaming the platform.
Just because I'm wearing a miniskirt does not mean I want your 10-inch vagina.
Exactly.
Spooky.
All of our metaphors.
Spooky.
All of my metaphors have fallen through.
Have they? Through the floor.
I was trying to make a point.
I heard you. Loud and queer.
Loud and queer. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
We're not scientists.
I'm just saying. It's just unhealthy.
I agree.
As we're putting on wigs and talking into a void.
Listen, I'm so glad though, because all of my social media since 2018 has pretty much been drag.
Yeah.
Like I deleted my Instagram at that point and then like rejoined in drag persona. Mm-hmm. For the most part, I still do personal stuff on there too. But
it's not about sharing your life. It's about sharing the brand.
Correct.
Your brand. What are you presenting of yourself?
Correct. And it's not my whole life either.
Right.
And there was a point where that needed to be a representation of my life and my whole life. And then I was like, you just get my taste.
Yes.
And if it's going to be curated, I'm going to give you some of the best creative stuff I have, which is why we started doing this.
Yes.
So like using it as that outlet I like, but that being said,
it can't control you.
The attention from that keeps me coming back.
I know.
And so like that is why all 150 of you have to start watching our videos more because we want to look at the stats.
I do like looking at the stats. I did keep Yahoo Studio is still on my phone.
That's really funny. Like the most defunct website that started out the strongest. Yeah, let's call it that from now on. We're on Yahoo. You know that one?
I still use
You have a Yahoo Gmail. I almost called it a Yahoo Gmail address.
That's funny.
That's so wild.
My I have 3 email addresses. One of them is a Gmail. I never use it. I never check it. It's not even on my phone.
Really?
My 2 other Yahoo accounts.
That's funny.
I just...
Born in the game.
What do you want from me?
I mean, I started on Hotmail.
I mean, me too. MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
And then, barely was on AOL.
I never did that because I didn't have friends in middle school, so AOL chat was not like my game.
Andy was on AOL. I think a couple other people might have been on AOL, but no, it was Hotmail.
It was Hotmail. God. Yeah. Because that's what you wanted, the @Hotmail.
Exactly.
It was fun to say you're on Hotmail.
Do you remember your first Hotmail account?
It's the same one I still have. JamZ15.
Wow.
Because, I mean, that's the Gmail account that I have now, but like I logged in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, day one.
Dang.
Also, Go ahead.
I mean, it's fun being young on the internet.
It is, and we got to grow up in that time. And I mean, we were certainly experimented on, clearly, through this whole process. But I'm glad that in our lifetimes we're seeing, like, a move through it.
I mean...
We're not so caught up in it to escape it. I don't think anyone truly is.
No, I think we're experiencing the death of the internet.
Maybe so.
Because I do think it is just populated by robots and dumb people. And I'm sorry to say it, the longer Trump stays in this weird void, the longer I just think... Well, okay, this is actually what it was.
Yeah.
I was watching the Fox interview with Kamala Harris.
Oh, right.
And she was like, she told that guy, she was like, nah,
no, not here, no. I know what you're about.
Yes, yeah. And so I listened to her, I listened to him, and I was like, I understand now. I, unfortunately, am a smart person sometimes. Yeah. I think there are a lot of dumb people out there.
I do. And that's no shade.
No.
Our education system has failed a lot of people.
I think people cannot think for themselves.
Well, I watched a video about it today. It was this teacher talking about standardized testing with her, I want to say they're like a 3rd grade class.
Okay.
And she was doing what do they call it? Like a portion of your year that you're like a section or like
snapshot.
Yeah, they're doing like a reading section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of this whatever. So she was
core curriculum,
having them read whole books, through the class, discussing which I don't even remember doing in elementary school. Like we would do book reports and stuff like that. But
we
like,
had
as
those
a class,
big textbooks that were like they might have 30 pages of a real book inside of it.
And we would do that together.
Yeah,
they were doing whole books together. And at some point during one of those lessons, a unit, that's what I was looking for.
Unit.
One of the administrators comes in and is like, oh, that's great, but are you like preparing them for the standardized test enough? And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna switch over to that. And for like 2 weeks was only doing like worksheets. But she was like, against their rules, slipping in more reading time.
Yeah.
And
You mean comprehending?
you mean learning? And she was going into detail about it. She was like, we're not talking, because she's like, no shade to movies and all of those other mediums.
Sure.
But she's like, we're talking about engaging with a piece of art over a long period of time, which is what you do with books.
Yes.
Which is different than consuming it passively in like an hour and a half.
Yes.
Talking about things that relate and critical thinking and like matching things from trying to remember it from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. That's an experience. Like it's all of these things that like really feed our brains and how we learn.
Okay, I'm going to get transphobic for a second.
Oh.
When I was 10 years old and reading Harry Potter. Okay, Scott and I were talking about this because when
as long as that's how transphobic
that's
it
hilarious. We were talking about this. We were talking about our frame of references while we're reading.
Yes.
And when you read, first off, do you visualize anything when you read?
Yes.
How deeply developed is it?
This is interesting. It is more developed the more frequently I'm reading.
Like if you start a brand new book?
No, as in like I
work that muscle.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So like if I have been reading a few books in a year, that fourth book that I get to, vivid.
Okay, thank
If
you.
I haven't ridden in a while,
Reading a while.
then I start, this is what happens.
I'm
reading.
so stupid. The minute I started saying ain't and y'all and all this crap.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh my God, listen.
That's stupid.
I am not a speaker.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not a
You fucking talk. Don't give me that shit.
No, I am not an eloquent speaker. I am not an eloquent speaker.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyways, when I'm reading a book, it's a movie.
Right.
It is a movie.
And you've had that muscle
Yes.
from a young age, exercise, like you're like an athlete at this point.
And Scott and I, while we were discussing, I think it's because of how many plays I've had to read and how like you have to just get the sense of what is happening immediately.
And that is kind of the hardest point on exercise.
Yes.
Is the buy-in, the jump in.
Yes.
Because you're like, okay,
Just gotta go.
trying to like figure out this world and these characters. That can take a while.
Yes. And so because Scott does not see a movie. He'll see like images every once in a while and stuff, but it's kind of blurry. So I don't remember where we were going with this. Comprehension. Here we go. In those textbooks that we were reading, where you got the 30 pages of Caddy Woodlawn or whatever, listen.
Yeah.
How is a child, a 10-year-old, I need to go back to the Harry Potter thing too, but how is a child supposed to understand a story when they get chapter 3 and 4, which is after exposition, out of context, and you're like, okay, now answer these 10 questions based on these 30 pages where you have absolutely no context.
Because your brain wasn't allowed to develop remembering those things as they would if you had read the whole book.
Correct.
And you're jumping into the experience without any exposition, so you're already not given the journey that the author intended.
Yes.
All of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's crap, and I think we should be reading more books.
Whole books. Start to finish.
Because that is the problem. We cannot comprehend.
No.
Books are able, diatribe, I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Books are able to take you on emotional journeys that you cannot get anywhere else.
It's a completely different internal experience.
And because you are only relying on yourself, you begin to really understand your values, your morals, the way that you comprehend information, the way that you store things based on the human conditions in the book that you read. So you really need to read at least one book a year.
Yeah.
I mean, one. Listen, I have not done good this year. I've read like 20 books. Last year I read 48, which is like the most I've ever read in a year.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I didn't do well. It's a real slump. But I'm also writing.
Yeah. Well, and I also think that like I read a lot of short stories too.
Yeah.
Regularly. I feel like that keeps the muscle exercised. There is something to sitting down to a whole novel though. Yeah. It is a little different. Because again, we're talking about like being with it for a long period of time.
Well, that's it. Like if it takes what, 15, 20 hours
taking
to finish
breaks,
a book?
coming back to it, remembering. It is, I mean, And I like that you said that, like, being bad, like, I don't believe in, like, you know, moral authority based on that. But I equate that to, like, I don't feel as good in myself. I don't feel as though I've upheld my values.
Yes.
All of those things that you mentioned.
Right.
If I'm not reading regularly.
And I also think it depends on the books that people are reading. I'm reading books that often challenge things within me. I'm reading about people who are maybe like me, but are in completely different circumstances, or just something that I'm not able to really understand myself. Empathy, girl.
Oh, I mean,
It's
just putting
empathy.
you in a life situation that you may never be in.
And it's the closest thing. I think movies can do an okay job of this. Yeah. But if you live with somebody for 20 hours who is just going through it, I think your life will change.
Agreed.
And I think you'll be able to see the person on the other side of that counter and say, yeah, they might be awful, but maybe something bad happened an hour ago.
That's a really good point. Just the store of different stories and ideas and situations, because, I mean, the Bible has I'm going to blame it on that again, but, like, really given people such short parameters of what can happen in real life.
Sure.
That is all they perceive as happening in real life, and they try to put other people's experience into that box.
Yes.
So it's like, when you have a store of different stories, experiences, beliefs that you believe, first of all, like, you believe the people telling them, and that you've internalized and gotten on with, then those things come up.
Yes.
And you're able to react less, you know, petty or offensive. Like, we all have that judgment in us.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're at the counter and you're like, well, maybe that person went through that thing that I read about once. It's like, you can truly leave it there.
Yeah.
And it's powerful like that.
Yeah. I also think it's good to realize that other people, you know, have just as vivid lives as you have.
Yeah.
I think that's really, sometimes it can be hard to really fundamentally understand that.
Yes.
Because I think we're all really selfish because we're all fighting to survive. Right? We're just innately selfish.
Yeah.
I think we just are. And I think you have to remember that everybody lives that 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, wait. I need to come back around to the end of that story.
Of what story?
With the teacher.
There's an end to that story?
Yes.
Oh my God, okay.
So after the standardized testing, the kids have taken it, la la la.
Yes.
The administrators call all the teachers into a meeting. She goes into the room. They all turn to her. They're like, your students got the best score out of all of the classrooms. What were you doing? And then, like, proceeded to listen to her just talk about how she let her kids read. Yeah. Exactly, girl. Exactly.
Listen, reading is what? Fundamental.
Fundamental.
And suck on it.
Suck on it.
Oh.
Also read Suck on It by Chuck Tingle.
But also, back to the Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've ever read the books.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's like Hagrid. Maybe I'm not supposed to finish the story. There's like Hagrid's hut, and then there's like, what's beyond the grounds of Hogwarts? Like, what is it?
Oh, right. I don't know.
Well, to me, my 10-year-old self, you played Ocarina of Time, right?
No.
You never played Zelda Ocarina of Time? Okay, well, when you're in Hyrule,
Yeah.
and you're like going from town to town, right? Yeah. There is this like brown wall that kind of separates everything.
Okay, it's the same thing in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, you reach the edge of the map, there's kind of like a...
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever gone to the edge of a map in Breath of the Wild.
I circle it. I love to find it because there's also... we can get into that.
But anyways, that's what I pictured.
Yeah, just kind of
so
like
it's like your
hazy...
frame of reference.
Well, and actually that's... Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes,
like,
yes.
there is a haze around the knowledge that you don't have.
Correct.
And I think people see those as like safety fences.
Yes.
And they're like, I can't go outside of that because it's scary. Because it is, learning new things.
Yes.
You have to...
You have to.
You have to.
You have to.
You have to learn about new experiences. You have to... Fear is the mind killer.
Fear is the mind killer, and also so is drugs.
Drugs are the mind killer.
That's what my therapist says.
Yeah. Slowly, but so is alcohol. So is this.
Listen.
So is caffeine.
So is this.
This is not killing anybody.
No, we're just slaying.
Slaying.
As my wig goes back.
That's great.
Oh my God, so scary.
Scary.
Ooh. Are you reading?
Are you?
Are you reading?
What are you reading? I am reading, but it's cheating because I'm listening. Which I do think is a different...
Cheating.
It's not cheating, but it is a different intake, right? So I'm not getting the same building and the same synapses firing, it's a different thing. Really?
I disagree.
For me, it's different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think you might be processing the information differently. Yes.
Because there is a medium there.
Yeah.
I'm very aware that there is a person telling me a story.
Interesting.
And so it's almost like, and this is bad, it's just like my church days, but it's almost kind of like hearing like a pastor tell a story or whatever. I'm sort of imagining it through their lens.
Oh my God.
And I'm not able to do it on my own. I can only do that when I'm like reading.
When I'm listening to a book, it's like I'm at the drive-in.
Ooh.
And it's kind of wonderful.
I love that.
Now, the narrator has to be good. Sometimes the narrator can take me out of it.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I would say there's a lot of good audiobooks out there.
Oh, I think if you're one of those people that have never read a book since 7th grade,
Start with an audiobook.
Start with an audiobook.
Actually, that's a good idea.
And I think just listen to it while you're doing chores, while you're doing bills,
re-exercise that muscle slowly.
Paint your nails. I don't know, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Listen to a book. And don't listen to I don't know, The Secret History. Now, I love The Secret History, but you people out there, that's not the first book you're going to want to pick up.
No.
Go to I don't know, Dear God. Pick up one of those Sarah J. Maas books.
Sure.
That fairy smut. People love that.
Great.
They are thick, but people love it.
I do think that that's a good point, is you were talking about reading a lot of diverse things earlier and getting new experiences.
Sure.
Jump in with the shit that immediately draws you.
You have to.
You have to. Because
or else
otherwise
you're gonna be bored.
Exactly. And you're going to get sick of it and you're going to give up the whole thing altogether. You have to, smut, I'm not lying, is my gateway.
Yeah.
And that works for me. Or I don't know, just something juicy.
I think people think a book is going to be dry no matter what the book is. And it's just because, I'm sorry to say, you haven't read enough books.
Agreed.
And you haven't looked through enough of them. Because
there are bad books.
Oh. And I've read plenty of them.
Yes, but you gotta read the bad too. That's kind of the whole thing of it.
Yeah.
Get of it all.
Yeah, I think just do it.
Just keep reading.
You have to.
You have to.
We need Dare shirts. Not Dare shirts. What were the Read shirts?
Did they just say, was it READ, and did they stand for something?
Dare shirts. We need Dare shirts.
Right, but we need to redo it as Read.
Yeah, but I also just want a Dare shirt too.
Oh, okay.
What's it stand for? Destroying adults randomly, erratically.
Yeah,
Did I
they
spell
are
that
destroying
right?
adulthood, honestly. Take drugs away and...
Dang.
Dang, not dare.
Dang.
Drugs are no good.
Wait.
I think we just did it. Could you imagine? Our personas suddenly go very conservative.
Well,
and we start bringing drags to the children, though, and it's dang.
Dang.
Drugs are no good.
Drugs are no good. I love that so much.
Wasn't there a song?
Drugs are no good.
No good at all.
And we're here singing the gospel of
to save the children from the drugs.
Elon Musk.
Stop selling drugs to kids.
You know you're doing it because you're 1 in 16 cars on the road.
We all know it. You know it too. The president knows it, and Kamala knows it.
Kamala too.
Kamala's gonna put you in jail for selling drugs to kids, Elon.
You know what's really scary?
Elon Musk's house on Halloween.
I was gonna say Elon Musk jumping for joy in the air in that picture.
That's really funny.
It's so scary.
He is a very awkward person.
I want to meet him.
Do you?
As this, though.
Oh.
I hate meeting celebrities.
Have you met many?
A lot.
Have you really?
Yes!
Who?
A lot.
Name them.
All right, who do you want me to name?
Name them.
Let's see.
What's your favorite one that you've met?
My favorite celebrity story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is it scary? Can you make it scary?
I'll make it scary.
Okay,
all right. I was 17 years old.
Oh, yikes.
And it was in the dead of summer.
Okay.
It was hot. I was not in Missouri. I was in California with my brother. We were there for a couple weeks. And also what made it extra scary is that the second, third, maybe the first Batman movie came out. Batman Begins.
Right, one of the
one
good
of
ones.
those.
Oh, no, the Christopher Nolan
I think
ones.
it might have been the Joker one. I think it might have been.
So Dark Knight.
That sounds right, because I want to say, we were going to go see it.
You were how old?
I don't know.
17?
Yeah, I think so.
So then Dark Knight.
Okay, that's right. Because we went to, I'm going to call it the Cineplex in Los Angeles. And we were going to go see this movie. It was in the middle of the day. They had the Batmobile car parked out front. Yes,
damn.
very cool.
I mean, Hollywood.
Yeah, well, who knows if it was actually the real one. And then they had like a couple costumes inside, right? Because I'm pretty sure they had the Joker costume.
That's cool. The one from that current movie? Wow.
Did they do that in New York too, where they put costumes in glass boxes at the movie theater? Yeah, I mean...
People are living better lives than us.
But you also have to take the subway. So, I guess you do also take the subway.
I like the subway. I like trains. Got a little taken back there. Triggered on the platform.
I really was.
I mean, I've never had to commute in New York City the way you had, so I'm sure I would have a different opinion about it, but anyway.
We go see this movie. And it's intense. I mean, he died. Yeah. They released the movie. Yeah. What's her name gets exploded at the end. Yeah. Like, it's a heavy movie. All three of those movies, terrorism. It's a heavy.
Oh, truly. It's Batman in the War on Terror.
Yeah, it
sure.
is 9/11 on crack.
Yeah.
So, watching this movie. It's empty, mostly, predominantly. We're like sitting in the middle.
Oh, interesting.
And
middle of the day.
Middle of the day. As the lights are going down and the previews are coming up, a couple people come in. And they sit directly behind us.
No.
And they're loud the entire time. Oh, and they're loud the entire time.
And they're loud,
and
too.
So we're like, and so the movie's done and we get out and we we don't look at them because, we don't want to like, those kind of things.
I see.
Yeah, we just want to get out of there, go.
Right.
We leave. I think Fisher had to go to the restroom or something. And so we went to the restroom and Gaga goes, Gaga. Oh!
Sorry, keep going.
And Gaga goes, those people came out of the theater. And we were like, oh my God. She goes, you'll never guess who it is. And we're like, who is it? She goes, do not turn around.
Don't look.
Not turn
Don't
around.
look.
Don't look.
Don't look.
Don't look. I'm like, who is it?
That's my favorite game.
Yeah, don't look.
Don't
and I'm
look.
like, who is it? Who is it? And she goes, it's Cameron Diaz. And Fisher and I both went, and she's like standing there with her two gays. And we were like, ah! And we like ran out of the theater.
That was scary.
It was scary.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
It was scary.
That's an A-list.
It was scary.
And you just don't see her everywhere.
No.
Had she retired from acting at that point? I don't think so.
I don't know, but it was scary.
Wow. That's a good one. You're right.
Another good Los Angeles one is Gaga and I were going to a bookstore that we really like in Los Feliz. And we're just walking along and she goes, oh my God, it's Anne Heche. And we pass Anne Heche who's having coffee right here. And I went, because I'm a slut.
I will not bother them.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, like,
I want to see.
I want to see and I will gawk.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with being like, from across the street. I think that's funny.
I think it's because my aunt absolutely thought it was the most embarrassing thing in the entire world.
Oh, so you were leaning in.
But like, no. Oh. But like, I thought I should be ashamed. But I really just wanted to know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm curious.
Yeah, Rob Zombie.
Are they just like us?
That's another great story.
Okay, keep
Meeting
going.
Rob Zombie. No.
Rob
okay, this
Zombie?
is so boring.
No,
this is so boring. This is so boring.
Not to me.
So boring. No.
Maybe to our 150.
Well, I'm
non-music video watchers.
Again in Los Angeles, my aunt took me on this little tour of the studio, and we were going around in the little offices, and I can't remember who was giving us the tour. Somebody she knew, and they were like, "Oh, they're doing something." They were showing us the Folio studio where they make the little sounds and stuff.
Oh, love.
And he goes, "Oh, they're actually editing something right now," and he kind of peeked in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we can go in," because they kind of went like this. And it was Rob Zombie and his two sound engineers, and they were doing the sound of his first Halloween movie, which was awful, by the way.
Right.
But that was cool.
That is cool.
Very unassuming guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I like behind scenes stuff like that because I like the entertainment industry.
I know. Too bad the Munsters sucked. Did you see that movie?
I know.
God.
Did he make that?
Yes.
A remake?
Yes.
Of the
with
Munsters?
his wife. Yes, it's so bad.
And it was meant
and
to be...
Elvira was in it.
Was it meant to be scary?
No.
Oh.
It was kind of campy, but it was
when
bad.
When did this happen?
Last Halloween, I think.
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't see
bad.
this.
Netflix.
Well, they didn't call me, so. They could have gotten a better Elvira. It's probably failed because he used the real one. Too bad I'm obsessed with her.
She was in it for like 2 seconds.
I love her.
She was like a used car salesman or something.
What a fucking great career. Like cult celebrity, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you come in with like one character.
Somebody hated her, I read recently.
Oh.
Some other hot host hated her.
Probably Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
God.
I was watching an interview with her and Kate McKinnon the other day.
Drew
Barrymore.
Okay.
And Kate McKinnon apparently is like a farmer now. Like took her SNL money and went and bought a farm and like grows her own food and stuff.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Got out.
And she was talking about that. And of course she's just funny. And
Yeah.
the way that she tells any story, whether it's serious or not, is funny. And she was trying to get her little like whatever's in I'm laughing. And they panned to Drew and she's like,
Not listening.
so serious about it.
Oh.
And I'm just like, you need to go. Because you're not even like picking up on what your guests are giving you.
Is she on just heavy drugs?
I think so. And then I don't like that she touches people.
Oh, she does?
Yes, haven't you seen those where she
No.
like, I'm gonna get, and like she's like this on them and like in their lap.
Oh my God, you're so cold.
I am. Or she'll like get on the floor in front of them. You haven't seen any of these?
No.
And she's like at their feet while they're talking, like on their lap. I'm not joking. It's too close. It's too weird to me.
Did she do this with Kamala?
No, but that was Aki. God, before she got the nomination too, and like
Yeah.
we're all feeling the heat of it, and she was like, again, serious, too serious. We need a mamala right now. Also, what an insulting thing to say to...
Who?
She's a mother,
Oh, yeah.
but
Carries a Glock.
she does carry a Glock.
I watched it.
About to be our first president, woman president of the United States, and you're asking her to be a mother. That's insulting to me. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, she is a mother, but asking her to mother the nation, it's like, no, I'm gonna lead the nation as the president, thank you, and like, I'll let you know when you can leave, which
Yeah.
is immediately.
That's like, yeah. You're not going to be president. You're going to be Susan B. Anthony.
You're gonna be the mother of the nation. No, girl, she's our president.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means she's probably gonna commit war crimes.
I mean, she already has, right?
She already has. And she's probably gonna like make some really bad decisions.
Can I tell you one
But
thing?
she's also not going to send us into the Handmaid's Tale, so here we
Well,
are.
let's see. Let's bring it down just nuts. I'm checking you, Democrats. I don't like, no Freudian slip here. I don't like that they're running this campaign on, oh, the Republicans are weird, right?
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't think that should be the baseline for it. I'm like, get your punches in, whatever, but don't run on that.
Okay, but her TikTok really is making fun of him, but like kind of mean.
This is where I am like, and I get that this is also kind of like a Christian reaction in me.
Okay, yes.
Where I'm like, we don't punch back the same way they do.
Yes, okay.
So when the weird stuff started, I was
Yes.
like, fine. But
Okay.
also, let's not forget who the first weirdos were,
Okay,
right?
yes,
Which was
yes.
like the marginalized people.
Yes.
All of those things. And we made that part of our identity.
Sure.
And Democrats accepted that. I mean, not always, but
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, I
That's
get where
kind of
you're
how I think of
going.
that in my mind.
Yes.
So then to turn it around and call people weird for whatever their behavior is.
Religious extremists.
Which is crazy,
Yeah.
but let's call it that. Let's call it extremist.
We
and
should
let's
call them
it
terrorism.
like terrorism. Right.
We should
let's
call
not
it
just call it
terrorists.
weird because
They're terrorists.
it's too amorphous and it's too a little bit like they're going to become the new punks, and I don't want them to have that kind of like
right. They are terrorists.
reputation. Yeah.
I absolutely 100% agree.
Yeah.
But so like, don't come at it where you're poking fun at them. I think we should just say, listen, they are terrorists in this country.
Well, also like these are.
He
I mean, I don't want to
literally-
make assumptions, but if you're voting for president, if you're voting for Trump, I think that you have some education issues, some maybe disenfranchised issues.
Cynicism.
Not feeling like you are being heard or
Yes.
included. This is what I'm hearing
But
from these
why?
people.
But why are you not feeling like you're being not heard?
Right. Is it because people are getting rights as well as you and you have trouble with that? Or it's like psychological. They're looking for someone to save them from this current situation and they're picking the wrong God.
I just don't understand what they think they're gaining.
They're not. In fact, there are so many policies, especially medical policies, that go directly against their better interests.
They know that.
And they know it, but it's like, I don't want other people to have rights.
They said, you're going to lose your right to vote. And they're like, I don't care.
As long as someone
I
else
trust
doesn't-
him.
Right. wild. It's terrorism.
It's terrorism. It's spooky.
But it's not weird.
It's not weird.
We know what it is.
It's not weird.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's sad and it's scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
And I think that downplays it too by just calling it weird sometimes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's like...
That is what I mean.
They're not being weirdos, quirky, whatever. They're trying to eliminate gay people. Yeah.
They're killing people.
Right. Let's look at the time. Oh, we gotta shove that. You want one?